Hello folks, I greet you. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Welcome to another date with Homo Politicus, the wake-up service run by Enterprise TV. What we do is simple. We interrogate issues that get thrown up by my country, your country. Today, a gathering of the foxes. 2027 politics is a gambit. You know, a fox is a wily animal, skilled at gaining advantage, especially deceitfully. So a political fox is not difficult to characterize in this regard. The story that the trio of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, and Alhaji Kwankwaso are hatching a merger ahead of 2027, the year of another presidential election, should ordinarily not excite anyone, but get him or her worried. This should tell us that these old brigade members are not done with us yet. Each of the front-running three is known to us, and for that matter, opposition politics in our country is known to us as well. The three political foxes, or if you like, political bedfellows, started out as members of a once all-conquering People's Democratic Party, PDP. They became foes by choice, no thanks to mutual mistrust, distrust, and internal wranglings. And so is anybody enamored of a possible merger that spells any good for us? I am reminded in this connection of the words of the first German Chancellor and political theorist Otto von Bismarck, who reflected that, quote, politics is the art of the possible, the attainable, and the art of the next best, end quote. Are we waiting for Godot? Shall we provoke a conversation, please? My conversationalists are known to you, but let's meet and greet them. The affable Cyril Abaku is here. Cyril, I greet you.
Thank you, Citizen Jones.
Cyril is a broadcaster and a communications expert. Cyril is joined by the indomitable barrister Evans Ofeli. Barrister Ofeli, I greet you.
Thank you.
Barrister Ofeli is a constitutional attorney and a political commentator. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Very well.
The subject matter is not new to any of us here, or is it?
It is not. It's not. It's a subject that is all over the place, and we're interested in that subject. But what we are not interested in is for the PDP to turn it to an act of taking over power. The objective should be to first take over power and then hand over that power to the people. If that is what they are saying, then I'm in sync with what they're saying. And the truth is that there is no way PDP will give APC a comeback or
a run for their guts.
A run for their money without certain measures, because even the APC itself used merger to defeat the PDP in 2015. And without that merger, there's no
2019.
Yes, and 2019. Without that merger, there's no way they would have. Okay, if you look at the 2023 election, if you look at the results, you know, after Obi, Atiku, and Kwankwaso had gone their separate ways, and from there, the three of them have huge followers. I mean, Obi alone and Atiku could have even defeated the PDP. Then if you add the APC rather, then if you add Kwankwaso to that narrative, you will see that the APC will find it very difficult to, you know, claim victory. Because even if you look at the 26% of Nigerians came out to vote in 2023, 26%, okay? And from that 26%, almost like 2/3 of that, okay, got onto the APC with all the issues put together. So the calculation is quite very probable that just like the the leader of the PDP said that if we had these people, Obi, Atiku, and Kwankwaso in the PDP, there's a likelihood that if you put their followers together, and if you put their supporters together, okay, there is no way the APC will come close.
Yeah, but the bystander is struggling with having Obi, Atiku, and Kwankwaso on the same bus.
Yes, they will have that problem because the truth is, who among the three of them is going to allow for, for the other to lead? Because you can only have one driver and somebody that will,
one driver, one conductor in this case, and one passenger.
Very well. So who is going to do that? By that time, Atiku will be in his 80s, right? Obi is there with his followers, then Kwankwaso is there with his followers. But the truth is, if this is about Nigeria, patriotism, humanity, and the future, they should be able to put aside, their ego or their whatever it is that make them want to go that way.
Yeah.
And support one person. So let that person now go wrestle, so that they will only battle with incumbency, not everything.
Okay.
And then find a way to take that incumbency away and then deal with the issue proper. Why Nigerians should watch night over and
yeah. See, but my trouble here is both Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi had run for public office before. Is it possible a second time?
Of course, it's possible.
They won't do one together, but one separately.
Because politics is the only place, apart from faith, perhaps among the religious people, politics is one place where anything is possible. You can never do anything else. A former boss of mine told me politicians are very optimistic. A politician can, if you told
I hear it's a game of the possible.
Yeah, so they are full of faith. Sometimes our religious leaders love to talk of faith, have faith in God, have faith, and you move mountains. But sometimes I feel it's even about preaching. There is like a preaching to the choir. When you see politicians and their antics, even you who is a faith person will be put to shame because they have more faith than you ever could.
Yeah, see, I'm sorry, let me take us back to the First Republic, where a merger was mooted, nothing happened. Second Republic, the same thing, if you remember. Third Republic, which was a near miss.
Yes.
And now a Fourth Republic.
Yeah, so merger, there was a merger sometime in 2003 or so, that was to be called the Movement for the Restoration of Democracy. Jim Wombole and Co, are trying to come together. So none of this is new to us. But we are not being told by psychologists of political science and power, right, that at the highest echelons of power, there's no enmity. It is about interests.
Yeah, but quickly,
now, yes.
Look at the Game of Thrones, if you understand what I mean, in Kano State, provoked by two key politicians of the state, Kwankwaso and Ganduje.
You see, but for all you care, when you take out the politicians from the scenario, whether it is Sanusi or Bayero who became Emir eventually, power is still residing in the ruling house. So when we bring this matter to the issue on the table now, Obi, Kwankwaso, you see the framing matters. What we are told, the PDP said, right, a national vice president of the chairman of the PDP said that Atiku, Obi, and Kwankwaso, the three men, were in talks for a merger. So when you hear that, sometimes we've seen where one party will adopt the candidate of another party. It happened last year. There was, I think, the AD in 2003 adopted President Obasanjo for a second term. So we don't, because this are factor. He said the three candidates were talking. And yes, me thinks that of the three candidates, right, ostensibly, Buhari having done two terms, this should be the term of the north, of the south, because Buhari did 2 terms, okay, and then Tinubu is into his first term. So if Obi is going to run, if Obi was one that they chose in 2027, sorry, if they pick a candidate for 2027, it would have to be somebody who can sort of answer the question of turn of the south, yes, viable candidate, maybe yes, likable, maybe yes. So that is an alternative to Tinubu, most likely yes. Then my postulation tells me that in that scenario, a certain Atiku and a certain Kwankwaso may rally together, because we saw what Atiku said some months ago. He said he didn't mind stepping down for a viable younger candidate if he found one. So if you put one and one or two and two together, you may just begin to see where this whole thing is going.
You are assuming that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is done with angling for the plump job.
There's a good chance that he may not be able to come out and say it that way, but that he in a way is also to realize that very little is left for him to. I mean, of course, only very little is left for him to claim there. So even if it was at the level of legacy, I want to think that he is minded to give power to somebody, that would answer the questions that Nigerians are looking for now, today. In my opinion, Peter Obi does, because if I were to give the South its own 8 years, it's not just Peter Obi. Goodluck Jonathan was also being touted last week that he was to run against Tinubu. As a matter of fact, the governor of Bauchi State came out to say that if his boss, Jonathan, would run, that he wouldn't run. So
Jonathan constitutionally has two years to go.
Well,
if you deduct the 6 years he was in power from the equation.
The question is, if Jonathan got into office, right, and that matter went to court, you never know which way the pendulum will swing. Is the truth. So, but for me, this attempt at a merger now, right, speaks more to interest than to ambition. We can say we can split these two. Ambition means, in Nigeria, ambition is usually a vehicle that always contains interests. But in this case, these 3 men, if ever they came together to have this discussion and they want to settle on who will run for office, okay, who's going to run? It means that they would have put interest way above ambition, which is instructive. But then, for me, it will be that we know these parties, the Labour Party, PDP, and what was the other one?
NNPP.
What exactly do these parties stand for? You find that in France, in the EU Parliament, even in
you're asking a rhetorical question.
Of course, and in Hungary, when you talk of conservative parties, you know what they stand for.
People know what to expect.
Yes, but in our own case, it's just about clinching power, as the PDP did.
Yeah, but it provokes the question. Counter question is: do you trust a likable measure of these 3 strange bedfellows? Are they bedfellows or strange bedfellows?
Well, this is a question for deep reflection, because we cannot easily dismiss it and say strange fellows or non-strange fellows, strange bedfellows. In my view, and this is not an endorsement, but comparatively, the PDP years offered us some greater latitude and measure of liberty, okay, and had a more stable economy in which the salary earner could boastfully go to the market and buy basic food items. What we have today is an economy in which you don't know how much anything is worth. You can't sit back and say the dollar is at so and so rate, because it keeps changing every day. And then as you and I are talking today now, the NNPC has given us reasons fuel scarcity has come to stay. You see fuel queues, very long fuel queues, and we are going to like this, that this should be taken as normal when fuel is selling at 1,000 naira per liter. Which that is the best government can do. The PDP may not have been the best, but I don't think that they put us anywhere close to this.
Close to what?
Yeah, so
I actually trust this alliance to the extent that,
on paper or in reality?
In reality, I trust it to the extent that it can take over power, but I do not trust it that it will hand over that power to the people. So, because they've been there before, it's not the first time. We've gone through this road. It's like more like a déjà vu. we've been here before, and there was no change. We may not have suffered this deeply, but all the same, we suffered.
As the French would say, the more things change.
Yes, because from Jonathan's incapacity to Buhari's very disastrous outing, now to Tinubu's worst ever outing in human history. So we don't have a succor in this whole narrative. So let them come together, take this power, take it out from these guys, and let the citizens now struggle, okay, to take that power away from the PDP eventually, and see how we can redefine what is your take. If in very civilized plan, it wouldn't have been a problem for Atiku and Kwankwaso to just, in the interest of the country, to yield. I mean, because it's about
it's not the example is not far from us. Joe Biden said he threw in the towel, blah blah blah, in view of the road ahead, rough and so on. So this understand guys, what they're saying.
These guys, if the essence of their politics is about the future of Nigeria, it won't cost them anything.
But hold on, by aren't you troubled by this north-south relay? Aren't you troubled? Because in the United States of America, which we think we copy, we ape, whoever rules does not matter.
Does not count. I mean, even Biden from the state of Virginia. The state of Virginia has produced 7 presidents of the United States. And it's not even one state that is as buoyant.
And both Bush the father and Bush the son were presidents.
Were president. And this state of Virginia is not a buoyant state in the U.S. It's not as rich as the likes of Atlanta and
Texas,
Georgia, and all that. But they have produced 7, in the history of the United States. So the problem we still have is the ethnicity in us, the religiosity in us, and all these trappings of tribalism that work against the collective countryhood that was promised by the 1960 Constitution, that has been replicated down to the 1999 Constitution. We have not been able to deal with it, so we still don't see ourselves as one. Remember, even in all this divide, the moment the PDP clinch on the resolution to take someone other than Obi, the Southeasterners will not support that cause. That's the truth. Because the way things are already, we see and we keep saying that there's marginalization this way, there's marginalization that way, and that's because we have not been able to eviscerate ourselves from the banalities of antiquity. We are still within this clavism.
Cyril, Ufeli's immediate past governor, what's his name again? Ifeanyi Okowa, read the communique when it was agreed by the PDP at Asaba that the next president was going to come from the south. And lo and behold, it was Atiku that stuck his neck out. And Okowa is running mate, and all hell was let loose. Cyril, are you factoring the Wike angle to the whole thing?
Yes, because he came and played spoiler within his own party, and eventually he couldn't.
And don't forget, he's still an integral member of the PDP.
In fact, there was a name, and while he was in the PDP, there was a name list of APC, what's it called, observers, and APC campaign for the presidential governorship election. And Wike's name was there, and there was an uproar. Come on, you can't. Sorry, an outrage. How do you put the name of one party in another one? And then when the also when Nigeria also released its own list, the PDP his name was also there. He was on a campaign team for the APC and the PDP in Bayelsa State. Now, so that sort of spoiler, you better know where to place him so that it doesn't come into the room and begin to play that. So, but
so as a gadfly, don't you see his finger somewhere?
there's nothing that can be tamed. Even a government can be tamed. There's nothing very special about being a gadfly. But my greater concern with in respect to the matter on the table today is that look, these parties are necessarily like coming together, or these men coming together, until the last thing has happened, anything can happen. As a matter of fact, P2B has nearly been orphaned from the Labour Party. The party is in serious crisis
as we speak.
Exactly. Okay, you leave that, then you come to the PDP. The PDP is the party that understands itself. You can't be compromised and
the PDP is not faring better.
Yes, then the APC, that is as good as I find.
And the NNPC leg.
The NNPP itself.
NNPP leg.
Popular in Kano and perhaps part of the north, but they cannot be said. They cannot be said to have properly also spread themselves to be a party of national coverage and spread.
Yes,
no, the NNPP.
So to that extent,
a far cry.
Yes.
A far cry.
To that extent, yes. So to that extent, there will be a bit of crisis in terms of what value is which of the parties bringing, and what will be each person's own share, okay, from the table. Who takes the lion's share? Because of course, in a merger is a big conversation, because it has to do with who gets what, what is whose stake, okay, whose stake is what, and so with all of those on the table, there was a mild attempt at forming a merger between the NNPP and LP. Their spokesman, the national secretary was there one time, and he said the talks didn't advance too far because it was more like a testing and that kind of thing. But I think that largely they always saw it coming, that such a conversation was inevitably going to come at some point, and now it is time that it has come. The PDP remains the behemoth, but in terms of popularity, the LP has greater penetration. Then, and popularity and acceptability. Then, in terms of the critical vote of Kanu, and perhaps Jigawa, and we have to stretch the discussion, the other case, Sokoto, and then Kanu and Katsina. There you will need Kaduna, Katsina. You will definitely need people who own and control
the Northwest.
Yes, the Northwest. Generally, you need people who understand the what's it called, the flavor of local of local belief.
This postulation will say that you cannot actually create power with two regions. That you need to negotiate the third region. So
you need to build bridges instead of walls.
Yes, with the third region. I mean, for this Northwest, even if you have control of two regions and you have control of a part of the third region, that's the North, but you don't have control of the Northwest, you are going to have problems. So they have 7 states.
Yes.
And if you look at election pattern, you see that they vote in the same pattern, those 7 states. I don't know how they come to that political hegemony or that, unwritten agreement. Their patterns are always in one direction. So they have a kind of invisible capacity to sabotage any candidate who is not who has not found favor in that area. So it's not enough for us to say because 25% of 24 states will get 2 solid regions, negotiate the third one with an adverse party. If that third one you negotiate with the adverse party is the North, and you don't have the Northwest, you are still in trouble. Because you are going
the question of the spread will come in.
Yes.
Gentlemen, in all of this, please, so I don't forget it. Do you expect the ruling APC to fold its arms and do nothing?
I was going to come there.
Okay, let's go there.
From P2B's southeast to Atiku Abubakar's northeast and the Kwankwaso's northwest, right? The real issue will be that the party power will try to throw some landmines into this.
So for sure the merger.
They will. Where they can, they'll throw carrots. Where they can, they'll throw landmines. Whatever balance.
The carrot will come with some sticks.
I want to believe so. But I'm calling those sticks landmines because political survival is a very serious matter. That some people will go to any lengths to just achieve it. So if you're walking into this whole thing, you are better know what you're up to.
And the only part where they can find that hole is maybe Atiku. Because he's been the one who has been fluctuating between that party and so there's a possible link for that kind of sabotage. But recently, his expressions recently have also shown that may give a doubt to that. But if the PDP don't guard it proper, if they don't guard it well and come up with something very formidable, they may just be the APC have the capacity to deflate that arrangement. And once that is done, they weaken the political structure.
Gentlemen, in rounding up, let's consider this. If you were watching a film and in the film a bomb was going to explode and the actor was oblivious, doesn't know, that's suspense.
Yes.
But in the film, if a bomb was going to go off and the actor knows, that's a different feeling. So the Nigerian, who is the bystander here, remains helpless, and so on.
Yes, because the problem of the Nigerian have not been solved by either of the leaders.
Yeah.
Whether the ones in power or the ones that are trying to form an alliance. So it's a dilemma for him. For the other Nigeria, it's just like a spectator watching a game of chess. You don't really know who is doing. You don't really know exactly what is in this for you.
Who is gaining the upper hand?
Even though democracy has promised you something that it never delivers. Now you are watching them playing this game and all that. You don't know where this is heading to. You don't know whether if this agreement pulls through and this will get to power, whether you'll be able to buy fuel at all again.
Yeah.
Or whether that will lead to our end or doom, we don't know.
Yeah.
Or whether, conversely, this will be the turning point in the history of Nigeria, and then we'll be able to assess things that hitherto we could not assess. Because we had a leader that was elected, that didn't know what's in the books, had not seen a handover note, does not know anything, had not become a president before, and he said subsidy is gone. So we landed here. Unfortunately, and we're not looking for a way to pull out. But one thing you must know is that the moment you disrupt people's way of life, 200 million people for that matter, and more, it is very difficult for you to bring them back to track.
The reverberation.
Yes, to bring them back to track will become very, very difficult. And that's what we are going through today. There's a school, one of the federal schools in the Southwest, University of Ibadan, just increased school fees to 400 and something thousand for the university students. And many more are going to have. So a lot of people.
And there's a protest.
A lot of people must drop out from school. That is what it is.
Yes.
So we have not gotten it right leadership-wise. So if this agreement is going to come to fruition and is going to deliver the dividend of democracy, why not?
Okay, see, let's take this home now. In 8 years of Peter Obi, there was no local government election. Kwankwaso is engaged in this Game of Thrones. That has not simmered down. And Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the BPE was largely under him. It took us nowhere.
Unfortunately.
Don't Nigerians know about these things? Does it not bother them?
No, maybe not. The reason I said so is simple. We need to look at themselves, the playing field, and ask ourselves, how many of their co-contestants or co-contenders or fellow politicians can sincerely raise the stone or cast a stone at them because they are clean and are better than these people are, even if some of the things that you said now are either not proven or and of course
it's not a question of proving anything. These are facts that are available.
What I mean is, in relation to who is Peter B such a bad person? So that's the real question. Kwankwaso being involved in a Kano MLC dispute, it doesn't really come to anything until we've seen how the matter is resolved. So in my view, this is quite an uphill task. I think that for the benefit of democracy, this sort of alignments are necessary. Labor unions, opposition leaders, and so on. Yes, alignment and realigning are coming up with fresh outfit, but they should tell Nigerians what their measure wants to be about. Raise the issues, don't just...
All right. We apply the brakes here, but not before thanking Cyril Abaku for your time.
Pleasure.
And Barrister Evans Ufeli for your intervention.
My pleasure.
Well, let the debate continue, folks, wherever you might be. Don't forget, on Homo Politicus, we leave no stone unturned, or no turn unstoned, neither do we leave no stone unturned. We'll go there, just so you know. On behalf of the Backroom Boys, this is yours sincerely, Citizen Jones Hussein, saying thank you for your time. Bye-bye now.